All right, so welcome back. It's been a question we've been getting on our manure results, manure analysis results. So we got them back from Penn State. It took only about, I don't know, for the time of the video, it's going to be a lot longer than what it actually took, maybe like 2 weeks, maybe, about what it took. So let's see what we got here. So here's the manure sample return, their lab ID, name, date, county, what it was. And then down here is the actual report on what was actually in it. Look at that. There we go. So total amount of nitrogen, 8.3 pounds to the ton. Organic N, total phosphorus to the ton, 4.1. Total potash, 9.3. As you can see, they have a breakdown over here for the liquid as well. So, you know, we know we're not doing liquid, but that's what it would be if it was. So pretty neat how you get these back. Now, this was just the most basic test they have. You could add a whole bunch of other line items on here as well. I was saying I'm happy with the test results that we got back from it. It shows that at least we know what's in there. And we'll put it on here. First cutting on as many fields as we can get on due to how wet everything could be. So that's what we'll do. I will try to get it on as many fields as we can, and roughly in that 2 to 3 ton rate. We'll see what happens. The manure spreader, it's an older new idea manure spreader, so I got to figure out what click I'm going to have to do. So it might be a little bit of touch and go at first to figure out with the first load how much we need to be. Once we get that first load out, then we'll figure out from there. Well, it's that time. It's time to start spreading some manure. So we got manure spreader all hooked up to the tractor. So everything looks good. Chains are oiled. Now we just need to load her up with some manure, and we're going to go from there. So let's get to loading. First load is loaded up. Something we're going to do is we're going to take this bucket out. Bucket right here. So what's in it is some bags. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay these bags down. So I don't have a piece of cardboard or anything else. So I'm going to measure it. 56 inches by 56 inches square. A square. And you run over that. It's supposed to give you, for every pound, is how many tons to the acre you're putting on. So we're going to do it so that way we kind of know. My goal is I want to be right about 2 ton to the acre, roughly. So with that, I guess we need 2 pounds on that 56 by 56 inch square area. So what we're going to do is use them bags, and I'm going to put it all back in the bucket, then we'll scale it. So let's see how this goes. Come on, Ace. Up in the tractor, buddy. So we're down here in the lower hayfield, which, believe it or not, I figured I'd come down and see how wet it was, and it's actually pretty hard. I mean, there's a little bit of moisture. The tractor isn't even leaving a track. A little bit of moisture on. Now, there are some spots that I just won't go in, because it is wetter. But for the most part, this is all pretty decent down through here till you get down to the far end. Far end gets wet in the corner. So I'll spread what I can spread, of course, on this. Might not be able to be perfect, but we'll give her a go here. But this is also where we're going to do our little test. So I'm going to get this spot measured out, how big they are, and then lay it down. Hopefully it'll actually stay there. If not, I might have to go find a couple stones and make it stay there, but we'll see. So one of these bags is 24 by 40. So what we need is 56 by 56. So we'll just overlap all these bags a little bit to make sure we don't miss any manure when we drive over it. See how wide we are. Now, granted, this isn't perfect, but that's 56 there. Luckily, it's not too windy down here either. So we're able to, now let's see how far we got to be at 56 on this end. 56 right there. So theoretically, lay all these down, lay the top. There we go. All right, 56 by 56. Perfect. We're gonna give this a try and see what we're putting down to the acre. I mean, what's the worst it could be, right? Well, we'll see what this equals out to be. It was put on a little bit thicker than I so desired, but you know, we'll see what this turns out to be. I think I'm going to need to turn the apron chain down a little bit on the tractor because as you can see, it put it on too thick where it was going back to the apron there. It's putting on way too thick, so this part's going to green up really nice here, and this is just going to green up a little bit. But I did have enough to go down and back, even with that apron chain running a little faster than what I wanted. So we'll see what this is. Take a wild stab in the dark. I know it's not 2 tons to the acre. I'm going to take a little guess, so a little bit too much. You know, yeah, definitely more than 2 pounds in there. But there's only one way to learn, and that's to give her a try. So we'll take that back. We'll take this back into the barn. We'll scale it and try it out, see what it is. One thing it is supposed to rain tonight or tomorrow morning. And if it doesn't rain then, it's supposed to rain on Monday, I believe is what they said. So that's what we want, is a little bit of rain on top of this to help start to go down in the ground. We're, you know, making hay is roughly, I don't know, a little over a month away for us to start making hay. Well, no, month and a half or better. So hopefully by then all this, that's why we don't want to put on too heavy. So that way that all decays down into the ground. It starts putting its nutrients down in that 8-pound nitrogen, the potassium, the phosphorus that soil sample showed. That's what we're trying to get into the ground and slowly and work its way into the ground. You know we might not get better growth this first cutting. It's because the time we are putting it on, we might see a little bit of difference. But the big thing we're looking at is second cutting and third cutting down here and on all of our fields to make them a little better. Because we used to always chop dress with urea, 100 pounds the acre of urea. And this year, unless the prices magically drop over, you know, in the next, by the middle of June, because that'd be about the time we're putting it on, unless something magically happens and the price drops tremendously, you know, we're going to be putting manure on because that's our source of nitrogen this year. And you got to replace what you take out. Now we know 2 tons to the acre is only, with a soil test or with a sample there, just about 17 whatever pounds of nitrogen to the acre. Oh, plus we're getting the phosphorus and the P and K out of the manure as well, and plus the other microorganisms that are in there that have broke down and will make hopefully help this hay out a lot. But I guess we'll see. Come on, Ace, let's get in the tractor. Time to go back to the barn and get another load. So before I went out, I greased it all up. May have slightly over lubed the chains, but they needed done. They hadn't been done since, well, last year. But once I came back in, I re-greased everything that I greased before I went back out. Just gave it an extra shot. Now that everything had been up and moving for about 10 minutes or so, everything had been moving around. So just thought it'd be good. Just I always like to give it another shot of grease. That way, grease and oil changes are the cheapest preventative maintenance you can do. But this manure spreader is nothing special. It's a new idea, model 19. I'm not sure when they were produced, but it does look good for us. So it's got a double beater in here, or horizontal beater, and it's got this extra one here on the back. So the reason I like this versus, we just sent one to a sale. It just had a single beater. I like this because the way our bedding is very fine. This really just beats the tarnation out of it, breaks it up into, you know, little clumps. That's the reason why I like it so much. I fill her up to about that bar, so when it comes back, that beater's usually pretty full until the end there. It does a really nice job, as you can see it. Whenever it's coming through, them beaters really just hit that stuff really nice and give it a nice good. The beaters really hit that real nice, give it a nice good kicker rate on out, real nice. But you know, this thing wasn't perfect when we got it this year. Had a little bit of the floor to fix. Put that rubber down there. That way the stuff wasn't falling out the front. The biggest thing I wish I had was a slop gate. That way you could really fill the back end up real good and high. But beggars can't be choosers. I bought this one at an auction down towards Pittsburgh way on an online auction. I bought two. Like I said, that other one's at the sale this week. I went to the sale, got it all cleaned up, greased up, everything. Everything works real nice. Made sure everything works good on it. So I never really had to use it. So I was always able to just use this one. So worked out good. So we're gonna try to get that hayfield covered here. That way when it starts to rain, that rain can help soak all that in there. So that's what we're gonna keep on trucking. I'd say she's full. That's all the filler I'd even want to put in. I mean, that's probably actually too full. So usually I could probably take about that much of it off normally. Because yeah, that's the reason why I want a slop gate. It's because of that. And as you can see, I slopped on this side. But we'll get this hauled out. Keep on trucking. As that's back here just beating itself to, you know, getting all the manure beat out of it, you know. I'm pretty happy. Everything seems to be spreading really well. The ground is, like I said before, a little wet, but, you know, all in all, not too bad. Could be a lot worse. So I'll take what I can get, you know, with this, and hopefully get as much of this stuff spread as we possibly can. Hey, we can't get it all, we can't get it all. You know, it's just, it is what it is. But that's definitely definitely want to get this as much of this done as we can. Get this grass woken up. You know, it's waking up from the winter. This down here, about a 4.5 acre field, roughly. Well, it depends on how you measure it. 4.5, 5 acres, whatever. So doing well. As you can see, it's just doing the clean out now. So we slowed down a little bit so that way it can actually do its clean out. So, but I'm pretty happy. Everything's going pretty well. So get this wake up call for this hay field, and we'll get this one done and move on to the next. And we're back at it. Day number 2 now, spreading manure. And you see we're into the pile pretty good. Into where it is fairly warm because manure heats up as it rots. Yeah, it's warm, it's wet, smells absolutely delightful. Smells like saving us money. And I like to save money. So at least we're doing something good with it, right? Got the spreader filled up pretty good, as you can see. Get this out, get it spread. Almost have this one field already done. So it needs to be load number 4 on it, I think. So that'll just be pretty good. You know, I'm pretty happy with that. Shut that. So load number 4 on this field. I think maybe about another half a load maybe on this field or so. Then we'll move on to the next. So keep on trucking, I guess. Well, we just spread this strip here. As you can see, you can kind of see some of the particles of manure just kind of spread out all real nice somewhere there. But this grass is coming up pretty nice. I mean, this grass hay mix, I mean, you can see the clover down low there coming up real nice. Timothy, orchard grass in this. So everything's coming up real nice. As you can see down the line there, you kind of see the wind blowing it. So I'm glad we got this done today. That way, hopefully when this warmth really starts to hit this stuff will really take off. Really start putting on a nice crop here. This is be the, I want to say the 3rd year of this, I want to say. I think we planted in 2019, so 20 and 21. I can't remember now. But anyways, that's it, splitting the fields in 2 here, as you can see, as we've shown hay videos. Everything's split in here, but that stuff's coming up really, really nice. So the new seedings always seem to come along a little better, a little quicker. As you can see here, it's doing quite well. So the poundage, or the ton to the acre test that we did yesterday, as I said, I thought it was going to be a little too heavy. We're aiming for 2 ton to the acre. That first load was about 7 ton to the acre. So we scaled it last night. I was rated at 7 pounds total. So, and of course I was making sure we had the bucket weight out of it, so on and so forth. Yeah, 7 pounds So that first load was a little too heavy, but we did get a little bit of rain last night before we started spreading today, and you can barely even tell where that manure was. It's already starting to break apart, break down, and when I started in that field again, that first load, I could barely even tell where I was at. So that's good. So we ended up with 7 ton there, so I backed the apron chain down to half of that. So I was shooting for 2 to 3. I think we're there, or pretty close anyways, so we're just going to go with it. Everything's spreading nice, it's going well, so we're just going to go with it. And with that, of course, the analysis there of the 8 pounds of nitrogen to the acre, if it's 3 ton to the acre, 24 pounds, or a little over 24 pounds, but of nitrogen plus the P and K. So anyways, let's keep on trucking.